It is recommended that schools have one counselor for every 250 students. But did you know that the national average student to school counselor ratio is actually 408 to 1? And you can see here what the average is for the state that you live in. I live in Indiana, which currently has the worst student to counselor ratio. What can schools do to help with the teen mental health crisis when there is such a shortage of counselors? Schools can take several steps to help their students with their mental health, and I came up with 10 ideas that schools can do to help with this problem. Let's get into it. With the national average of student to school counselor being 408 to 1, we need to start putting more mental health education in schools. Schools can educate their students about mental health and wellness. What signs to look for, what different mental health disorders there are, and how they can seek help if they're experiencing mental health issues. This is half the battle. Just knowing what in the world it is that you are feeling. If you don't know what you're experiencing, for example, is anxiety, it's extremely difficult to cope with. It can also have you feeling like there's something wrong with you and or you're the only person feeling the way that you do. According to the students that I've spoken to over the past year, you are not the only one feeling the way that you do right now. I know adding mental health as a large part of like the permanent school curriculum will take some time. It has to go through all that red tape, so to speak. But there are still some things schools can do temporarily, at least, to get some mental health education to their students. They can bring in speakers, like myself, to share their own mental health stories and what they did and how they can use those same principles to improve upon their own mental health. And they can at least have a few days each semester where maybe they host some sort of assembly run by the school counselors where they're explaining, what mental health is, different kinds of mental health disorders, explaining what anxiety is, depression is, and then what you can do about these things, how you can go seek help. The CDC says that suicide is the second leading cause of death among teens, and that there are 10.6 deaths by suicide for every 100,000 teens. We need to get more people available to these students, obviously. Most states, though, as we've seen, don't have the number of counselors necessary to be able to help all these students. But they could do something like work out contracts with local therapists and offer virtual sessions that they can take during the school day, or maybe even partner up with a big national company like BetterHelp so students can go get professional help from a licensed therapist during the school day. That way, if there isn't any school counselors that can help, at least they have someone that they can talk to. And don't say, well, schools don't have the funding, because the Department of Education has created 2 different grant programs totaling over $280 million solely for mental health services for students. 1 in 3 students rate their school's culture positively, according to youthtruthsurvey.org, who surveyed over 80,000 students over 6th through 12th graders. Schools need to promote a positive school culture. A positive school culture can help students feel safe, valued, and supported, which can promote mental well-being. Which leads me to my next point. Teachers and staff need to be trained in mental health and how to recognize and also help students who are struggling with their mental health. One study shows that 85% of school teachers and staff expressed interest in more mental health training. If a student has a panic attack in class, or maybe they just need someone to talk to about some struggles that they're having, teachers and staff need to know how to appropriately approach this. And for the time being, most of the teachers are doing their best, but really just kind of helping their students blindly. Youth with experiences in trauma, marginalization, and public systems of care are at heightened risk for mental health difficulties. And schools know who most of these people are. They need to provide extra support for this specific community as, like I said, they are at a heightened risk for mental health issues. This can be done by identifying these students who fit this criteria and maybe creating support groups for them or just doing more frequent check-ins on these students. According to this study, higher student level perceived parental involvement was related to lower mental health issues and fewer suicide thoughts and behaviors. Good job, schools. And if you're a parent watching and wondering, well, how do I help my teen? Go check out this video that I did a while back. Social emotional learning interventions increase students' academic performance by 11 percentile points compared to students who did not participate. These social emotional learning interventions are about teaching students the 5 key principles of human development: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making, which can help them cope with stress and build more resilience. And I don't think I have to convince you on how that would help improve teen mental health. Should more schools start offering mental health days? I think so. School-related stress affects 61.5% of students. So yeah, they could definitely use it. Well, won't some students take advantage of that? It doesn't seem like it, seeing how only 26.1% of students have even taken one mental health day. This is due to a multitude of things, including shame around the idea, poor school culture, mental health ignorance of parents, etc. But if we start doing some of the things that I'm talking about in this video, I think we'll see that number start to go up in terms of students taking more mental health days when they need them because they feel more comfortable to do so. 30 minutes or more of exercise per day for 3 to 5 days a week will decrease anxiety and depression symptoms. This needs to be more publicly known. I swear, every time I mention this stat to somebody, they are just like blown away by it. This is far too simple of help for mental health for it to be hidden under a rock. Remember those Got Milk ads that you used to see at school all the time? Those posters everywhere? Or at least I saw them everywhere. If you're around my age, you remember. Why don't we do the same thing, but with this stat? Okay, that's it. I'll make the poster. Only half of the adolescents with behavioral disorders receive treatment in the last 12 months. That means the other half are just having to quote unquote deal with it and just live and struggle. This is a simple thing for schools to do. Find a list of every mental health resource available in your local community, put it all together, and start sending it out to the parents. Now, every time they come to the open house, this needs to be handed to them. In the little emails that you send out, this needs to be handed to them. And if your school uses like some sort of app to like communicate with the parents, I know my kid's school does that. This needs to be in there. This is so super simple. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you found value out of this. If you're a teen and you're watching this, share this with your principal or counselor at school, whatever. And if you're a school watching this and you're saying, you know what, he's right, we need to start taking some more steps and stop blaming it on the counselor deficit that we don't really have control over, and you want to start taking control, you can hire a speaker. Reach out to me. This is what I love to do, is speak to students. I love to share my story, share my vulnerability, what I went through, and what I did and continue to do to keep my mental health at an optimal level as well as make it to where my life is not controlled by social or general anxiety. Do this for your students. If you are interested, just go to socialanxietykyle.com and send me a message on there.
I can feel my hands shake, feel my heart beat, feel my palm clamming up, feel a heat wave over my body. Yeah, I remember what it was like walking into a new school. I had struggled with social anxiety my entire life, but I'd never felt it as intense as this. I had just transferred schools, and I went from this really small private high school, about 200 students in it, to this very large public school with about 1,600 students in it. And I quickly realized that at this new school, the bus dropped me off 40 minutes before my first class even started. I didn't know what to do for 40 minutes. Personally, I wanted to just go be by myself, sit in the corner, and just be alone. But I feared people would negatively judge me, wondering, who's that loser over there with no friends?
Until then, I will see you all next week. Peace.